What's up, future fighters? We are back and we're at 60 frames per second today. Very exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. The game, of course, is recorded at 60 frames per second, so should see some improvement in the video quality. We are going to work with some code today, a lot of code today, that we've worked with before, and you could go back and watch the previous videos for all the basics and advanced techniques we've used in those places. But specifically, we're going to be walking through the main AI script, and this is the initial logic that Shadow AI goes through to decide what am I going to do. And we've been through this before, so I'm going to go through it pretty quickly here. This is the combo escape sequence here. This is the initial evaluation. You haven't chosen a move yet, but you're going to decide if you're going to. So you check for threats being present, and if there aren't any, you check and see what position you are on the screen, including whether you're on the top platform or the bottom platform, as this is a multi-level fighter. And if all of that looks good, you're checking how far away from your opponent you are, and what your link meter is at, whether or not you need to charge or not. And both of these are a little similar. It's just whether or not you're following the opponent into the gravity stream in the bottom platform, or you are trying to escape into it, which will give you more time to charge things up or not, which is pretty cool. And so once all those checks are done and you're good, you are good to go. Let's make sure, yeah, you are good to go. You're coming down here, and this is when you get in the nitty-gritty. This is when you say, okay, I've gone through all the initial things that I need to do. What am I going to do next? Now, the choose block happens based on, it's like a mercy setting. So if he's beating you too much and you need a little bit of a break, then he'll kind of back off and let you kind of catch your breath a little bit. Shadow AI in that way, he's sort of your trainer actually in this game. And that's a very basic level of training. We're going to get very much more complicated levels of him training you in the future. But that's very basic version of him training. The key though here is, and kind of what we're getting at today, is when he goes into this script. And these are actually more checks, which I don't think I really appreciated that until really today. It's kind of bad for me when I separate things out, because then I think that they're completely separate. It's just completely separate, but it's really not separate. I mean, these are in the same code. It's just I've kind of encapsulated it into its own separate script because I use it in multiple places. This thinking is used in multiple places. So this is really cool. And for today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up these old notes that we don't need. It's easier for me to see things this way. These were great. These were great advances in Shadow AI's system. When I made them, we've gone well beyond that though, since we started the making a Future Fighter series that you're watching right now. So time to let that go, and time to sort of zoom in. Let's see here. on what's currently happening. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna save that part for right now and bring it back. Okay, now let me do this as well. I'm just gonna put this on my other screen, or one of my other screens, so I can sort of just keep that in my peripheral vision, so it stays in my brain as we think of this. And what we have here is I'm choosing a move. Now at this point, this is different because I've done all the basic checks to decide, should I go in or should I not go in? And the answer is I should go in. There's nothing stopping me from going in. It's time. It's time to go on offense, right? And there's different ways to do that depending on what state you're in. And, sorry, let me just fix my video there. There we go. Sorry. And so, first of all, your link meter is the most important thing, right? And so in fighting, you've got two different levels of your ability to stay in a fight. And the two are, the way I think about it at least, is your integrity, physical, mental, and your ability to link things together. And the link is that little burst energy that it takes to change the momentum from one move to another. So anytime you move, there's momentum. And when you finish a move, to go to the next one, you need a little bit of energy to make that move, to start the momentum of that move. And the link meter is a representation of that. It's also a representation of some of the science fiction part of the game as well, and it's all tied into the suit energy. There's sort of a synergy between the suit and you in Future Fighter. So one day we'll go into the science of all that. It has to do with the story, so I don't want to give too much away just yet. So, but for now, think of link and energy and momentum, and that'll help you understand the script and how this is kind of conceptualized from my real fighting. So you got plenty of link and you're ready to do a move. You need to go. And these move settings, you can go back and watch the video on how that works. And just to show you, the transition type is getting set in this script. This is just a container script. I love to use container scripts. And so in this case, this is a randomization of any possible transition. So you could do any move here. Sky's the limit, Shadow. Pick anything you want to do and go for it. Just go for it. And then adapt from there. It's fantastic. I love that. And that's really cool. And so however, if if you got less reserve, then you need to decide. It's like, okay, what do I need to do here? And that's where it's like, okay, what's my distance? Well, if I'm too far away, I need really to get back and power up. And if I am not too far away, but I'm in the corner, I need to get out of that corner. And it lets you pick moves from there. I'm really glad we did things this way. Man, that is just tight. That makes everything so much nicer. What might be cool in the future is if we start returning arrays of these variables, like move setting 0, move setting, or a move setting 0, a move setting 1, and we use those instead of variables. This is this particular method of mine of how I assign variables. It's an older method before I really understood what arrays were, and I've kind of carried it forward with me. But now I've gotten really good at arrays and returning arrays and using functions and things like that. So, because I mean, I've never I didn't go to school for programming or anything like that. I just kind of started making games, and I just learned as I went. So I have my own techniques that I use, and then over time I get a little bit better. I find better ways to do it, or maybe more sophisticated ways to do it. There's a little bit of danger in a piece of code like this because, it's like, where does this variable get set? It's not anywhere in here. It's not set anywhere in here. Well, it's in this script. Ugh, it's kind of ugly. But if you return this array and then you saw a move settings bracket 1, you would know, oh, it came from this. What are you gonna do? Just gonna keep working at it. That's what we're gonna do. And so then we are. So that's the corner, and that's your corner work. And this is if you're trying just to get back and recover. You're not in the corner, but you're low on link, and you need to get recharged. And this is a really good way to do it. One good way to do it. However, this is a problem in the code that we need to fix. So I like all of that. It makes complete sense to kind of go through all of that. And these are all great. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pretend that we chose a move and we went into strike control, and we just pick something. Pick something here, strike control. And this part is something different. You can go back and watch previous videos for that. It has to do with block breaking. And this is where we would be if we're starting a brand new combo. So we're going to choose something. Let's just say we choose number 29. And that move is jump strike, one shot forward, sky drop, stay out. Okay. So in the game, what you're going to do is, sorry, I can get this other controller here so I can. All right, so if I was Shadow, this is what I would do. Boom, that's it. And we know this because we transferred in my IET momentum fighting method from real life into the game terminology. So that's what this is: jump strike, one shot forward, sky drop, stay out. That just tells you exactly what it does, and you don't have to go in and look at the individual move. We don't have to go into the code and look. We can just read that, and immediately we know what that move's for. Boom. And you're here. Now, being a case 1 means that when you get to end combo, end combo, hello. Yeah. When you get to end combo, you are not going to go straight back into choose move. And this is advantageous in something like this because could you pressure forward? Could you just decide at this point, you know what, everything looks good, I did knock him back, but I am just gonna, I don't need to go through all of well, did I must have closed it. Hold on a second. Did I close it? That's the website. We'll get to that in a minute. I closed it. What's wrong with me? Oh no, I put it over there. There it is. Do I need to go back through all of this again that we just went through? Do we need to go all of this, actually? All of this, blah 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 blah. Hey Parker, how you doing, buddy? Parker, as you know, is the official mascot of Future Fighter. He is my rescue, one of my rescue dogs. He's a good boy, isn't he? Yeah, good boy. He comes for a little loving every now and then to check and see if I'm not going crazy for talking into a camera, which I haven't, presumably. course, I wouldn't know, right? How do you know if your mind's broken if the mind's where the problem is in the first place? All right, buddy. Good boy. Good boy. Go lay down, buddy. Go lay down. Good boy. We'll do some wrestling after this video is recorded. So do we need to go back through all of that again? Maybe not, because if we go and let him choose move again, he's going to go into this, and if there's a threat while he's walking in, he's going to see it and stop. But that also changes the temperament of the AI. And what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean is, right now, he's currently set to boom, 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 and then he's going to stay back here, like this. He's going to dance around a little bit while he chooses what to do. He might hurl some electromagnetic energy at you. Maybe. But in general, he's going to stay back. Now, here will be the new. Just pressure. So that is going to add a lot of pressure. When we already added pressure when we invented this. Because if he chooses any move in case 0 or 3, you can go back and watch the previous videos to watch how we did this. But that's any move. So any one of these, or when there's more there, any one of these or any one of these, I guess those are the same right now. That's all we have. But any one of those gets chosen. Guess what? Pressure stays on. So what does he do? He goes boom, boom, boom. That's in there. Boom, boom, boom. He's still in there. Boom, boom, boom. He pushes back, but then there is no rest. So he keeps coming. Boom. You can imagine what playing something like that is going to be like, and it's going to result in this very quick. That kind of pace, while it does work in a video game setting, sometimes it's not really very realistic to what I've experienced in my own fighting in the real world. You've got to take rests. You can't just, well, you can unload everything you got on somebody. The problem is, if they don't go down, then your energy compared to them is like this, and then that's all you have left to defend yourself with, and the probabilities go way up of them landing that big blow that puts you down. So it's really about balance. So I'm gonna have to think about that for a little bit as I wrestle this dog, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna see where else we want to go with this idea. In the meantime, while you wait, go to docbrockgames.com and check out the alpha version of the game. You check out the cool features that I've got so far in the alpha version, the 2 characters I've motion captured so far, the screenshots, some screenshots of them in action in different areas of the game. A little 3D effect there. It's a 2D game. And put your email address in at the bottom, and I will let you know when the game comes out. Then come back to YouTube, because however we decide to solve this, I think it's going to be good. I'll see you then.